Ladies and gents, for the first time in a year, this is Say What's Real, episode 58, dude.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go, dude. Let's go. It's been a long time. It's been a year. The last person I had on was Jay Fitty. And we were supposed to have Tommy John today. Some stuff came up, so I will let you guys know when we are actually going to be doing her episode. But hey, Sam, what you do?
What you doing? What's up, YouTube?
Let's go, dude.
Dude, everyone that has ever talked to me about watching our podcast that I know is like, why aren't you in it, bro?
Yeah, they say the same thing to me. I don't know. It's just one of those things where
He just was ashamed of me.
no, I was fighting depression. I was depressed, and you know what I mean. So,
How's that going?
Sam saved me. Sam saved me from jumping off the bridge multiple times. But yeah, I'm excited, guys. Say What's Real was created by me and my friend Warren years ago. But
Shout out, Warren.
Yeah, shout out to you, Warren, because our anniversary video is coming up. We do it. Warren comes back every year.
Uh-oh.
You know, and me and him debate. And I know me and him are going to debate about Kendrick and Drake. And I'm going to fucking smoke you, dog. I'm going to smoke you at that debate.
But it's 2-on-1 this time.
I'm ready, bro. I'm like Drake. I 20v1, bro. You know what I mean?
Josh, Gideon, Drake. That's all my life is going to be consumed by for the next.
Oh, yeah, because Josh Giddey got traded to. This guy loves the Bulls, dude.
Yeah, I'm wearing Bulls shorts right now.
But when me and Warren started this, it was basically me and him going back and forth on camera, just talking about popular topics. But then it kind of evolved into me and Justin doing interviews with other people, right? Where it'd be the person, me, and then Justin would be the disembodied voice. And we did that for a very long time. Had some very great episodes, in my opinion. I didn't do it for a year because it's a lot of work in the editing room, but that's not the reason. To me, it's like, I think I told you this, Sam. And there is people who have backed out of doing the interview last minute, and it was okay because they told me they were honest with me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people in the beginning, bro, who just greased me all the time, dude.
Yeah, right at the very end or something.
Yeah, like it'd be like 10 minutes before. Hey, bro, I'm in Tacoma. I'm like, okay, I'll wait for you to get back from Tacoma. You know, 2 hours later, hey, bro, I can't do it. I'm like, come on, man, what? And so like it just kind of soured my spirit. That's why I always like doing it with friends or people I know, right? So I love doing it with you, Warren, Justin. I loved it because I can rely on you guys. It's not hard, right?
Right.
But yeah. So earlier today, right, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
We were going over show notes because we thought Tommy was going to be on, and I thought we were talking to a coworker of ours, and I'm gonna shout him out because his name is Jose. There's a billion of you. You know what I mean? Which one? Pick out. Where's Waldo, right? And I love him. He's like the tallest Mexican I know. It's crazy.
He is very tall.
But he's gonna be leaving for a month, and I want him to know that obviously, like, hey, you got to take care of what you got to take care of. But I proposed a question to him. I don't know if you remember what I asked him, but I was trying to tell him, because we talk about destiny a lot amongst our friend group.
Yeah.
Especially little Emily, right? When me and her talked one time, she was like, hey, she said I was one of the coolest people she's ever met. And I was like, come on. I was like, I'm not cool. I appreciate that, Emily, when you said that. But I was like, to me, I don't think so. But when she said that to me and she said, hey, I think everything happens for a reason. I think we were meant to meet. We were meant to like meet each other. And this was meant for like us, right? Like our path in life. And I want to tell that to you, Jose. Which I did. And so we talked about, out of any planet, right? Any planet you could be born on, any galaxy you could have been put into, any situation. We could have been ants, bro. We could have been dogs, Sam. We could have been fucking dolphins. We could have been
aliens on another planet.
We could have. But out of any situation in this infinite universe, we are here right now during this time period on this planet.
With our families, with our people.
Sitting across from each other.
That's wild.
And when you really think about that, it is creepy, but it helped me today. When he said he was going to be gone for a month, and he was like, hey, talking about like, it feels like this was meant to be. I was meant to work here and know you guys. Yeah, it does. I mean, the place that we work, I don't really like the place, but I like the people we work with.
That's the only reason you go back, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't really like the place, but I love the people we work with. I love you guys. That's probably why I've stayed as long as I have.
Yeah.
And it no shot to anybody, because I've had some really cool managers there too, right? Like some great managers, some awesome ones who have done a lot for me, and so I'll never take that away. But it's just I'm gonna miss it. That's probably why it's been so hard to move on from it, because I know that wherever I go next, I'm never gonna have a Sam or a Braden or any of these kids like Jamari, Kalai. I'm never gonna have that again.
Right.
You can't recreate the '90s Bulls.
No.
So, but yeah,
we got the GOAT squad over there.
We do. We really got the
dude. We run that store. It feels like sometimes. Love you, Leah, if you're watching. This.
Yeah, love you too. We do run that store like 100%, and like, you know, we're like the mafia, bro. Like we're just like everything comes to us. Everything like and
we have like, all the spider wraps, so everything comes through us.
Literally everything has to. Yeah, you know, and so all the tea. It's like it's kind of like we feel. It's like we're a Brita filter.
Exactly.
Like the water has to come to us to get clean, bro. So you know what I mean. But so yeah, it's you know, you had mentioned we were talking about this guy watches a lot of Ancient Aliens now. I
Dude,
feel like
it just is hilarious to me. It's one of the funniest shows I've ever watched, honestly.
I feel like it's my fault though a little bit.
It is 100%.
I feel like
I would have never even consumed anything about aliens, and I actually have changed my opinion a lot on a lot of it.
I've noticed that too. I've noticed it. This guy, like he said before, he used to be corporate Sam. I didn't really see it because when you said you were corporate Sam, I was like, well, you know, right? But especially your stance on that, I've noticed that you've kind of opened your mind a little bit.
Oh yeah, my third eye has been open because of you.
You're not a full-fledged lizard person.
Definitely not lizard people.
But, you know, and he'll get there, I promise. But, you know, now it's to the point where I can't even watch that shit because I get scared.
Yeah.
Like, deadass, bro, I get scared.
I think it's funny, and I take most of it as satirical. I'm more like the history and how they present the history in a different light.
Yeah.
Is more interesting to me than ancient astronaut theorists and what they think about the world, because I can get my own opinion on what I'm watching, you know, and be like, oh yeah, those are some crazy clues, you know. So
well, you've been watching it a shit ton lately.
Yeah.
And there is some things I wanted to go over because we were talking about, there's been a couple episodes where we discuss like what we think this phenomenon is and what it could be, and there's so like, bro, the rabbit hole is so deep that it's almost, it can drive somebody crazy. Like it's like, is it us pretending it's aliens? Is it aliens? Is it an ancient civilization that has survived a cataclysm? Is it something spiritual? Is there's like a whole like, and honestly, like today I watched a video where this guy Stephen Greer was talking about how it's gonna be us pretending to be aliens to like stage a world like an invasion, and that's the only way you're gonna get the whole world to like join as one for whatever cause they want. It's like, you know, us versus them.
Exactly.
That's always the narrative, like cops versus us, Republicans versus liberals, black people versus white people. It's always like split as like a us versus them narrative.
Right, 1v1.
And a lot of people don't even believe in that. Like me, when people are talking about Civil War, hey, guess what? No. I'm not doing Civil War.
No.
You're talking about like people of color versus white people. No, bro. I'm not. Are you joking? I'm not. Like, I'm white, right? But I'm not that type of white. Like, leave me the fuck out of that, bro. Like, what are we talking about, dude? Like, I love entertainment, right? Like, I kind of like big up Trump sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to sit there and go to no fucking Civil War, dude.
No, definitely not.
That's not happening. So, but one of the aspects that I really wanted to touch on with Tommy when she was here tonight, but we're going to touch on it tonight. I've been doing some digging when it comes to it. Like, I watched a lot of Tucker Carlson podcasts lately, some Joe Rogan stuff, right? Because I love hearing about this stuff. But the fact that these things, what do you think, Sam, about them potentially like aliens being demons? like fallen angels that are like trying to trick the people of this earth into, like, let's say for the last 1,000 years, people have seen these things in the sky, right?
Okay.
There's been crazy stuff reported throughout all of history, like people seeing gods. You know, you look at the stuff in Egypt where like there's drawings of people with bird heads and like cat heads and dog heads. Like you read about like the book of Enoch, and it talks about like these things coming down and having sex with women and creating the Nephilim, right?
The Mahabharata, they talk a lot about literally someone came and gave us knowledge, and here we are, we're progressing.
So like when you look at it that way, is it, are these things throughout history, are they coming to the people of this planet in different forms that are more comfortable to them? Because I can't imagine thousands of years ago, let's say the 1500s, I couldn't imagine like a metallic UFO. Like, what would somebody think a metallic UFO is?
Right.
So when they're saying like, "Hey, we saw huge eyeballs," it's God. We see huge eyeballs with fire around these eyeballs, and we're seeing people with like cat heads. Maybe that's just how they showed up to these people all those years ago. Because I don't know, man. The further you go down the rabbit hole, the more you start to realize like these things seem very nefarious, dude. I know there's a huge, large group of people who think that aliens are like are here to like help us, and they probably are. But I don't know. There's a certain aspect of it that just feels really nefarious to me, dog. Like
For sure.
I don't want to say it's demons, because I was super against that early in my podcast career. I was like, you guys think this shit's demons? Like, how stupid are you? Now I gotta be the humble bambino real quick. It's not that I think they're demons. I don't know how to explain this, but there's something about this that just doesn't feel right. Like it's almost like our planet got hijacked by some force that we can't understand, and anything is possible in my eyes now.
Right.
I almost want it to be our government with this technology, and it's like, hey, let's just pretend it's aliens. They're never gonna know. Like I almost want it to be that.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, like, hey, maybe there's a good reason they haven't said anything.
Right.
Because if it was really them, they can make up anything. Hey, we've been shooting them down. We have the capability to shoot the like what?
What?
You guys can like it makes it more confusing and muddies the waters more. You guys can shoot down something that supposedly isn't from this planet. Like, and these things are just allowing you to do that. It just makes it more confusing.
It does.
You know? But as you go down the rabbit hole for Ancient Aliens, what is something that you've seen as you watch these episodes that has made you kind of like rethink your thinking on this? I'm interested to hear this.
The most intriguing thing to me is like the prehistoric era. Honestly, there are so many signs that aliens or some greater being came and visited Earth and gave knowledge. And a lot of times is BC, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the pyramids are before Christ. All these other things are before Christ. And that's gonna be a fun edit out.
Nah, we're not editing that. Hey, sometimes we make mistakes. That's not even. I wouldn't even say that's a mistake, man. Hey, that was meant to happen. Remember, we just talked about Destiny.
Destiny. This
is Destiny. I know. We're gonna edit out Destiny now. Is that what's gonna happen? No, but go ahead, continue. Sorry.
But yeah, the amount of cultures that have talked about people coming to visit them and giving them a greater power. A very interesting one was the connection to the stars and how many of these cultures aligned their structures with Orion's belt.
Oh, a shit ton did.
And both the Egyptians and the Native Americans in Arizona, I don't remember their name off the top of my head, they both have said the gods came or they're basically saying the gods came from Orion's belt and we're trying to communicate with them, basically is what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's creepy stuff, dude.
it's really creepy. And then you look at some of these structures that got built at crazy times and how they understood, like the pyramids. The pyramids, how the heck are we doing this? Imagine someone being like, hey, let's, the Great Pyramid, let's double that.
Let's just fucking.
Let's double that. Let's make it. Like,
when you think about the fact that like each stone was weighed over a ton and was in a quarry that was like hundreds of miles away,
yeah,
it just makes the mystery more like, I don't get it.
And then the air shafts in the Great Pyramid, I don't know if it's, I think it's Osiris that it's pointed to. That like the air shafts are both directly pointed to Osiris, and it's like, why? How do they know that? Do they know to do that? Why are they doing that? Like a lot of these ancient astronaut theorists theorize that somehow this was like a transportation device,
or like
the
power
pyramids. I don't necessarily believe in all that. That's a little beyond my imagination.
I mean, it being a transportation device or a power plant makes fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
Like,
why else would they be made when they don't have like rooms? And people who say this is where they hide their dead pharaohs. No bodies have been found in most of these pyramids. And
well, don't the pyramids on Earth all fit Earth's electrical grid? I've heard that before.
I think
so it being a power plant would make more sense if all these pyramids are fitting on Earth's electrical grid.
And for some reason, everyone in the world at the same time was like, let's build pyramids, let's align them with Orion's belt, let's
and how would they know that? That's just another thing too, is let's say we're talking about the pyramids in South America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones in Egypt and China and Russia and all them, all these cultures that had nothing to do with each other, they couldn't really communicate with each other.
Yeah, they're thousands of miles apart.
Different time periods, all that. How did they know that their pyramid was going to fit with Earth's electrical grid? How did they know it was on, like, you're right. Like, there's certain things that we can't just say, oh, we were
coincidence.
That's not, and like one of the pyramids is the measurements is the speed of light.
I think that's the Mayan one.
I thought we'll double check that, but I thought it was okay. It could, but like I think it's the Pyramid of Giza.
Oh, okay.
Its measurements is the speed of light.
Oh, that sounds right.
How what are the odds that they just randomly that's just random?
It is.
You're supposed to take everything you hear about this and go.
But yeah, you stack that with like Puma Punka, and there's even some interesting things that they were talking about with like evidence of humans with dinosaurs.
That would be insane, dude.
Well,
I mean, dinosaurs are still like around, but they took different form, right?
Right. I'm talking like
old school dinosaurs,
like T-Rexes and stuff.
Like
exactly. Like they showed like this footprint thing, which was a dinosaur footprint right next to a human hand, and it was at the same layer. It's just like, what?
Hey, I mean, that would make somewhat sense if a previous incarnation of us, or like an early incarnation of us, was, but that makes sense to me. I mean, the sucky thing is that we mentioned time periods earlier, and those time periods, we just, there's no video from back then. Right. No pictures. We're just going off the word of like written tablets and written like stuff on the wall.
Broken buildings and
we didn't see it. And even if we did see video and picture, we don't understand the context of what's happening.
Right.
So
well, that's why the other crazy thing is like in all this stuff that you're talking about that we do have evidence of, how are we supposed to interpret these pictures and these carvings that look like alien stuff to us?
Yeah, like how are we supposed to interpret that when like
Are they just doing an artistic interpretation of what they saw, or are they really describing, this is what I saw, this is what happened? Or is it some vision, or did they have a dream and then they drew it? Like, we don't know, you
we
know?
don't? It could be just like all for fun.
But there's so much of it. It's like at some point you got to be like, this is evidence of something, you know? That if so many cultures are aligned with the stars, talk about sky people, and uh, like these
Sky people is
pharaohs.
the more popular, I would say, saying that people like, oh, the sky god, like the sky people.
Yeah, the pharaohs that are said to be half breeds, you know? Like,
You know, another thing too that I find fascinating is that there's a lot of cultures who didn't know about each other, right? It's kind of the same thing with the pyramids.
mm-hmm.
All these different cultures talk about dragons.
Yeah,
They draw dragons, they write about dragons, they talk about
yeah,
dragons,
dragons are
but they're
interesting.
saying that dragons were never real.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know if dragons were real or not. I not only am I not an archaeologist or someone who like kind of studies that, but you're telling me all these different so everybody just made that up. That could be a possibility. All these different cultures, like, hey, imagine like a flying reptile. That'd be cool.
Well, they probably saw lizards and they're like, let's put wings on those.
Yeah, so that could be a possibility.
And make it breathe fire.
But now you're talking about all these different cultures talking about dragons, and to me, I'm just like, what? Like, why is everything involving this? We're just supposed to coincidence and throw it out. Like, why? Every single thing, from anything about aliens, demons, spirituality, God, dragons, the pyramids, you name it, bro. It's just now it's there's a way to explain it. I just don't buy into that, dude. Like at some point, is it okay to say, guys, between all of us, we were probably just fucking lied to about a lot. That's okay to realize. Like, I'm cool with that. You want to know why I'm cool with that? Because once we accept that we've been lied to about a lot, it's easier to move forward. If we're gonna continue to live in this fucking lie that we're all being like told, you know, like we're wearing shades today inside because we don't get told what to do in the Matrix.
No.
So you guys are gonna make comments like, "Why are these two wearing shades inside?" And we're gonna say, "Ah, gotcha," because me and Sam, we do it. We do what we want, bro. But at the end of the day, if we're gonna move forward, we have to realize we've been lied to. That's the only reason I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it because that gives us clear, we can go forward, or we can stay in the same spot and waste our potential on this planet. I didn't mean to get all angry and like ranty, but it's true. You know what I mean? And that's why one of the things that me and Sam were gonna talk about tonight was about House of the Dragon, because season 2 just came out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, amazing so far. I mean, I love that show. I love anything Game of Thrones, but House of Dragon has been such a treat, dude. Who's your favorite dragon, dude?
I don't know the names. I'm so bad at like character names and stuff. I just see their face, you know. The biggest one, the
Rhaegar?
Daemons.
No, because the biggest one is the Aemons, the one with the one eye.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the one that killed his cousin in the end of season 1, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, that Rhaegar, yeah, Rhaegar is scary as shit. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Rhaegar flying at me if I'm in some town. If I see Rhaegar, hey, what does he want? Let's just meet his demands. You know, and his owner has one eye.
Yeah.
What you do?
Savage.
But Daemon's probably my favorite character out of the whole. Daemon Targaryen, played by Matt Smith, is probably one of my favorite characters of all time. Out of anything I've ever seen Game of Thrones, he kills that role.
Dang, that's tough.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know. I'd have to. I actually just restarted watching Game of Thrones.
What season are you on right now?
Peter Dinklage is probably the GOAT.
Yeah, that's not a bad take. Not a bad take at all. Peter Dinklage, yeah. I mean, he kills it in the later seasons.
I think I'm on season 2 right now.
I kind of don't like when later on in the seasons Tyrion, right? Tyrion? Yeah. So I might be a little rusty in the names. Forgive me. I don't.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Put the pitchforks down. But later on in the seasons, Tyrion just became Like once he starts teaming up with Daenerys, it was just like
Yeah, definitely when he was at King's Landing was his peak.
yeah. Before like his dad was
When he
sleeping with his
was the
girl, bro.
Hand, right?
Yeah, well, because before he was the Hand, he was in King's Landing, basically getting like punked by his entire family,
Exactly.
and like he's so that's not a bad choice, bro. But we talked about the
And
Acolyte.
Hodor.
Oh yeah, hold on, hold on. That was the biggest plot twist ever, dude. When you figure out why he says that.
That might be the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
It was, but it was
It was funny.
It was like both. Like it was hella stupid. Like a whole door. Come
Hold
on.
the door. Come on.
Yeah, like
a
what?
whole character based off hold the door.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. But it was like it was like sad too. So it was like because you always wondered why he says that. It's like, oh, I wonder if they're ever gonna hold door, hold door. Last week, me and Sam talked about the Acolyte, and it's doing horrible, bro. Right now, currently, it's at a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
It's a shame.
And I don't want to be dramatic, man, but it's almost like I might have to take a break from Star Wars for a little bit, man. And it sucks to say that because it's like one of my biggest. It's one of my biggest loves in life, bro. I love Star Wars.
You know what? Here's my thoughts on taking a break. So I almost did the same thing with Marvel because it was getting really hard to watch. But there's still like good stuff in there.
Yeah.
You got to consume it for the good stuff. From what I understand, the fight scenes are good. Right?
Even the fight scenes that I've seen in Acolyte.
Okay, maybe I misheard.
No, I mean, but if there is people who like the fight scenes, I'm not one of those people that tries to force people to like what I like, right? Like, if you guys like the Acolyte, cool. But just to me, as a lifelong Star Wars fan, I go before the show even came out, it was just all the articles and interviews and press junkets and this Leslie Headland talking about. And now she's doubling back on certain comments she made about the show, right? And like, because one of the people who interviewed her was like, "Is this the gayest Star Wars ever?" And it's like, bro, what? Like, it's okay, but at the same time, that's not what Star Wars is about. You could have gay characters in it, but it just seems like that's what her intentions were before making the show. She wasn't trying to make a good Star Wars show. She was trying to make a show like, hey, it's all good. It's going to be all about inclusivity and equal this, equal that. It's just like, okay, that's great to do that in the casting, but this is Star Wars. It has its own lore. The lore goes back like so long. Like Star Wars is almost its own thing.
Right.
So when I'm watching a Star Wars show, I don't want to watch about the matriarchy or the patriarchy. I don't want to hear about the patriarchy. Can you talk about something that's in the Star Wars world?
Right.
We're talking about thousands of planets with different aliens and droids and Wookiees, and we don't you know what I mean? Like the Empire was racist against aliens, right? That's because the Emperor didn't really like aliens. So that's not too much of an agenda, right? It's just okay that would make sense as the Empire would kind of be against aliens. But they didn't make that the whole message of the goddamn movies. It was just kind of like a thing thrown in there. It was never about that, and then they made a whole show about that. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
But we watched Fallout together.
Yes.
We're in the middle of watching House of the Dragon. And both those shows have and are doing amazing. They have female leads. They have people of color in it. And they're not failing.
Not at all.
They have great ratings. People rave about them. So is it because there's a person of color as the lead role in Acolyte? Is it because she's a woman? Did you see the diss track she did?
No.
Oh my God. We should have watched that before we shot, dude. She made a diss track to the Star Wars fans.
That's hilarious.
And she was doing this dance and it was just she was rapping. It was so bad. It was so bad. And people at Disney are like, you go, girl. You go. You get those evil misogynists. It's like, you know they were doing that. Which makes it even funnier. So, I don't know. I just, God, it sucks because I don't want to be that. I don't feel like I'm a misogynist. I don't feel like I'm racist. I don't feel any of that, right?
Exactly.
And if you truly are that, you're a piece of shit.
Hmm.
Hands down. But we're talking about Star Wars. We're talking like House of the Dragon can do it. Fallout can do it.
I
There's
think part of the issue at the end of the day, I think, comes down to the Disney brand and how pure they want to stay. You know, they're not willing to, like, Avengers could be so much grittier, you know, and like emotion filled. I don't care about it being bloody,
mm-hmm.
but it could be more intense. I'm not going to say, oh, go say cuss words because it's fun,
Yeah.
but if they could curse more and talk about deeper topics and stuff like that instead of being like, we have to push a small agenda
Well,
for this
Disney
minority that we want to bring onto our fandom, you know?
they can make shows where they don't have to do that though. They're doing it with the Marvel shows too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's not just Star Wars. It's leaking into all their shit. And I don't know if somebody's telling them something different. Like, hey, in 15 years, this woke shit's gonna go dumb, bro.
Mickey Mouse, as I'm saying, I feel like they're almost filtered by their own brand because they're not able to have creative liberty. It's always like this billion-dollar company telling them what to do. It's like in video games with studios like EA and Activision and Take-Two. Like 2K has become the greediest game on the planet, I would argue.
That's why I stopped playing it.
I
I stopped
love
fucking playing it.
2K to death, but it is legit. If you're playing My Team, you're gambling. If you're playing Park, you're spending $50 or you're not getting on a team. Like, no one's going to play with you if you haven't spent money on your build. And you're going to hate the game if you don't spend money on your build. I mean, I guess you could play now online forever, but that sounds boring. Just using 2K's biggest features are those two things, My Team and the rec and park and stuff like that, but it's just so greedy.
Are you kind of basically saying that like Disney is just so big at this point that they're kind of and their brand has always been like kid stuff, right?
Exactly.
It's almost like they're forced into this.
Yeah, as I said, it's all corporatized. If you've ever been in a big corporation, big meeting,
Yeah.
they talk about stuff that you're like, this is cringe, bro. And it's only the people trying to make money at the top and not the creatives coming up with these ideas.
Well, what do you think the top people are thinking of the Acolytes ratings and all? Because it's getting fucking shitted on, dude.
No, I'm thinking that they pitched this idea and they're like, dang, we'll get them next time, boys.
Like they don't even care. Because I think they spent either about the same amount of money as House of Dragon or more.
And they're gonna make it back tenfold.
The Acolyte will though.
No, Disney Plus will.
Well, obviously
That's the
'cause
caveat
Inside
with
too-
Disney Plus is someone like you or me, we're always subscribed to Disney Plus or something like that, you know? But for the person who's only there to watch Star Wars, they're going to subscribe. $11 is going to be pulled out of their account. And now they're stuck with Disney Plus for a month, even if it's trash.
because they have
They
to.
came for episode 1 and it was like, I hate this. I want to cancel. And they're like, you already spent the money. You have it for 29 days.
Yeah, and you can also watch the other classics too. That's
Yeah,
how
watch-
Disney Plus gets you because you can watch the classics.
Exactly. And then you end up not canceling because of the classics. And you've had a subscription
Yeah.
for 11 months. And that's how they're making their money. The problem with streaming in general, and I don't know why Netflix and HBO and Amazon Prime are so good at it. Disney is just so bad at like
Original
keeping
content,
their
too.
content exciting and like putting out original content that people really care about,
I'm
and
not
is
even
done very quality. I mean, there has been quality stuff.
I'm not even excited about it anyway, man. I don't give
mean,
a
give
fuck
me
anymore, dude.
Deadpool.
I don't even care anymore, man. I'm sorry. I don't care about this. It's the first time I've never cared about a Star Wars show coming out. Just sick and tired of them getting people who don't know what they're talking about. The writers don't know what they're writing about. The writers proudly go out there and say, "We've never seen anything before about Star Wars." Then why are you a writer on the show? You know? Why are you writing on this show then, dog? If you don't know what you're talking about. Why is Kathleen Kennedy the president of Lucasfilm when she says the dumb shit that she says constantly? She's taking things that are precious to this brand. Boba Fett's ship isn't going to be called Slave One anymore because the name Slave is sensitive. We get that, bro. I think people who are smart can determine that the word slave, not good, right? Boba Fett's ship, Slave One, doesn't mean that one. Doesn't mean that slave. We know it's Slave One is his ship. Slave One. Right, Sam? You're not retarded. You know,
Exactly.
You know that there's a difference between being an actual slave and Boba Fett's ship is called Slave One. When she says, "Oh, we're gonna change the light side and the dark side because times have changed and we got to adapt." Hey, no, it's the dark side and the light side.
It's
You don't. There is no adapting.
This is a whole different universe.
This isn't Earth.
And I think those subjects need to be talked about. You know?
Mm-hmm.
These, just burying it isn't going to help.
No, it doesn't help.
Whatever agendas you're trying to hold back, instead of hiding the agendas that you don't like, talk about them, and it's going to get people to have conversations.
100%.
But they're scared of those conversations, you know?
They don't.
They don't want those conversations to revolve around their brand. But that's how you make good content. You know why Deadpool's going to be good? Because it's going to be controversial. They're going to say some crazy stuff. You know why South Park is so loved, and Family Guy and all these other shows? Because they bring up subjects that no one else is willing to talk
basically
about.
The truth hidden in comedy.
Yes.
Yep. And so you have, like, I'm actually excited. You said Deadpool. Excited about that because it's rated R. They didn't. If they would have made it PG-13, Disney, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Like, we don't want a PG-13 Deadpool. So they made the good choice on that. I'm excited about DC too.
Ryan Reynolds still has most control on Deadpool.
And it seems like they had fun shooting it.
Yeah, it's the same crew that did Loki. And I think that's hot take, super hot take. Loki season 2 is the greatest thing Marvel's ever put out. But
I love that season. Yeah.
So
that's a crazy hot take, by the way. Someone let the tea.
Someone's gonna be like Endgame, and
Endgame. Like, I know.
That's the casual take. But
I am excited about Deadpool. DC stuff, like, it's just the Disney stuff. No, and like with DC,
I'm not excited about DC whatsoever.
Well, yeah, because James Gunn, when he took over, he basically kind of did a soft reboot on everything.
Yeah.
And then it's just every other thing he says, it either doesn't make sense or he calls someone a liar, and then like it comes out later that they weren't lying, and it's like, hey, James, until you have a full scope, maybe don't go on the media all the time, and maybe don't go responding on Twitter all the time until you guys have an actual, right? So when they replaced Superman, a lot of people were mad. I mean, I was one of them too. They were going to bring Henry Cavill back. They were going to bring him back. Then they said, you know what, actually, James Gunn's in charge now, and he's not bringing Henry Cavill back. He's bringing in this guy called David Cornsweet.
Honestly, I totally forgot about James Gunn going to DC. I'll watch it. I'll watch the first thing he puts out.
And the first thing that comes out is Superman.
Okay.
With David Cornsweet. I sent you the picture.
Yeah,
it's like a leaked picture of him on set.
It doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad. It actually looks like a younger Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So I think fans will be like better to accept this because, like, he kind of looks like Henry. The suit looks more like a comic booky like version of Superman. Let's just see what the movie is and let's enjoy it. That's kind of where I'm at this point.
Yep.
Like, especially with the Batman with Robert Pattinson. When that movie came out, I was like, okay, let's just give it a chance. Because I wanted a Ben Affleck solo movie. We're not going to get that. Let's give it a chance. And I love that movie. Robert Pattinson did amazing. So now I'm going to give this Superman a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, bro. James Gunn, I'm going to tag you. You're probably not going to respond. Don't care. But Marvel has characters like Black Panther making $1 billion, right? Black Panther made $1 billion. Okay. If Superman and Batman from this point going forward don't make $1 billion at the box office, you have failed. I'm not trying to be rude. Those are some of the biggest IPs in the world. They are. Batman and Superman, you ask any old person, any young person, you ask anybody. Who do they like their top 3 superheroes? They're probably going to say Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. And Wonder Woman probably 4th. Everybody knows those characters, bro. So you're telling me that a Batman movie can't make $1 billion? Why? Why is Marvel able to do it, but with these like, and not to say Black Panther isn't big, but these characters that aren't as well known, they're making $1 billion, dog, but you guys can't do it. No, bro. So James Gunn, straight up, not only is his first movie, Sam, Superman, which is going to be a huge make or break, because if that movie isn't good, why should we care about your universe going forward? If you can't do Superman right, do Superman right. And watch the fans react to it in a good way. If you do it right, it's a good movie, good writing. It just, I always seemed baffled that Superman movies and Batman movies aren't making $1 billion. Like, why? That can't happen. When these other Marvel projects are easily topping that. That's what it seems like to me.
I have another one that I want to talk to you about. What's your thoughts on Rings of Power?
Oh, the Amazon show?
Yeah.
I would kind of compare to what's happening with the Acolyte and all these other shows. And I'm not going to lie to you, haven't watched it, but I watched everything else about it. I watched all the discourse about it. So I can't give a full opinion on it because I've never seen it. But
okay.
From what my cousin watched it, and from what I'm hearing, a lot of people were angry.
I thought it was pretty good. I
so
really
you did.
Really
you thought
did.
it was good?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish I would have watched it because, I mean, you could have. But
you
I mean,
still should.
I like Lord of the Rings.
Because the new season's coming out next month.
I'm surprised that they have a season 2.
It's going to do well, I think. I think it's going to be really good.
Why do you think it fell down? Why do you think the fans were so against it then?
The pacing was weird. Really weird.
Oh, really?
I think the story, it had its... I liked some of the characters a lot. I hated the main chick. She wasn't the greatest.
She wasn't hot?
No, she was beautiful.
That's the only reason us men watch shows. No, I'm playing, guys. You know I love you, ladies, but that's crazy, dude.
But I think that it was mid-script.
Like, what is woke to you, Sam?
What is woke?
When someone says the term woke, because I don't like using that term either, because I don't want to be a rage baiter, just going online baiting rage. But like. It's so like if a person of color is in a TV show, I don't think that's woke.
No.
If a gay person's in a TV show movie, I don't think that's woke. But when the movie, like when those people have barely been in like big budget movies, and then like the whole entire movie's about their sexuality or skin color,
right?
When it's like a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars IP, that is kind of low key woke, dude. Like we're talking like, for instance, so for the Rings of Power, I heard that there was black hobbits in the show. Am I wrong? Yeah. Why were people mad about that?
I don't know, and I just don't care what other people think. I think a big problem with a lot of these TV shows is people don't give it a shot. Like, legit, I think that people hear what they hear from 2 or 3 people, and they let that decide whether they're going to consume that product.
Was it possibly because, like, in the books... Did he mention anything about Hobbit skin color? I don't know. So I don't know. I didn't read the books either. I watched the movie. I didn't. So I don't know.
I don't think they ever mentioned.
But it seems like a kind of a. You had people mad that there was black hobbits.
That wasn't a huge topic in my circle, but yeah, that's interesting.
Sam's like, your circle's kind of suspect, bro. I mean, it was like on X. I would go on X and see people like mad. My cousin would talk about it.
Comments, bro. My friend Brandon does the same thing. He'll be like, bro, all the people are talking about this, that, and the third, and I'm like, you mean like one guy who has 10 followers that you saw?
Yeah, Warren makes fun of me for that too, but it's like, bro, I'm talking about people who get like thousands of likes and retweets.
That's fair.
I'm not talking about like the 10 follower guys because I don't even listen to them. If you have a certain amount of followers, I won't listen to you.
I don't care how many followers you have. It depends on what you're saying.
No, I don't like you there. I was just joking, but if you have under
Clout gang.
if you have under 5 followers, bro, I can't listen to you. We should start doing that. Like a rule in society, like you have to have a certain amount of like a social score. Like if you don't have above 500 social score, get the fuck away from me, dude. Like you're not allowed to tell me what to do. Don't make my food. Like we should really start doing that and see like people would change.
That sounds like it would cause a lot of problems.
It would, but I guarantee you nobody with the 500 or lower is talking to me. So that would clean up a lot of problems. Like, hey, what's your social score? Yeah, I knew it.
You have like a app on your phone
that shows it.
Shows your number.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're 320. I thought you were cool. Yeah, like this. You're dismissed. Like,
get out of here.
Get out of here. What you doing?
What are you doing?
But yeah, it's getting hot in here, guys. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. So that's tonight's episode of Say What's Real. I had to get the rust off. I haven't done a Say What's Real in a long time. I'm glad Sam got to be on camera though. You know, this seemed like more of like a actual podcast. You know, so. But yeah, you can find me and Sam. No, keep dancing. You can find me and Sam on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. You guys go subscribe to his channel too. I always leave a link in the description below. And until next time, peace.
Bye.